The following presentation shows the various stages designed to produce real data on the significance of webbing on the so-called flying frogs of Danum Valley, Borneo. To do this, control frogs of similar morphology but with less webbing must be used alongside genus Rhacophorus to find a correlation between webbing, jump and glide distance, and adhesion. Here we have Brad setting up the podium. He uses a plumb bob for alignment to provide a consistent starting point for each leaping frog. As temperature appears to have a bearing on the willingness of a frog to jump, our stations are set up for gliding in the cooler mornings. Sometimes the frog may need a little moisture for him to leap. There are times when gliding is not its preferred option. But when all else fails, often a target can be used to encourage the leap. Measurements are taken from the point of the base of the podium to the position of landing. The same experiments are performed on our control frogs from the genus Polypodatus. 3 leaps from each frog are recorded into our dataset. Ground jumping experiments are also performed in the morning when temperatures are low and the frogs seem to be at their liveliest. From here we take the measurements of the frog with a pair of calipers. We measure from snout to urostool, and we measure its hind leg. With the hind leg, we record its proximal measurement, and we record its distal measurement. With a pre-weighed bag and some spring balancers, we record the frog's mass. The weight of our empty bag in grams is taken off our total weight for us to arrive at our recorded figure. During each stage, it is important to remember to wash your hands so that nothing damaging is transferred over to a different species. After measuring and weighing, we test for adhesion by measuring the purchase a frog has on the surface. This leads to our final station where we photograph the frog positioned on glass in front of some graph paper. Front and hind pads are spread out for measuring, as well as measuring the frog's area in its water conserving posture. Data from all these stations can now be recorded for a conclusion to be drawn accordingly.